It's hilarious. It's stupendous. It's ridiculous. The promise of technology.
What is it there, tough guy?
The promise of all technology is that it provides you with a convenient... What is the sound that you're making?
Come on, man. Finish what you say. Spit it out.
The promise of technology is that it should work flawlessly every time. But as we've seen on this very program, Aristotle Full Throttle, that failure, the greatest teacher, is. Thank you, Baby Yoda, for giving us that inspiration just now in this very moment. But what is time? Why don't the AirPods connect? That's what we ask.
I'm gonna connect my fist to your face there, buddy. I'm gonna knock you out into the cosmos.
The threat of violence is never something that one should accept. They should always reject those kinds of things.
I'm gonna reject your face with my fist.
Come at me, bro. I'll inform you with some science. I'll drop some knowledge on your head.
Yeah, I'll drop my fists on your noggin.
It seems you're very belligerent, that you're a belligerent type of character. It seems like you just want to solve problems using your fists. However, it's always good to discuss and talk and hear and listen to people so as not to be not to be understood or misunderstood.
Come on, man, I'm gonna understand you. I'm gonna. Hey everybody, what's up? This is Carl Weathers of the Predator Weather Report featuring the Action Jackson AccuPredator Doppler Weather Radar Forecast and Cardi B. Neil wants to be a Vulcan so much. Hey, Marked Sound, standing by. K Griff. You know something? They were talking about fighting. They were talking about boxing. That was the President of the United States and also the President of Space. It turned out that the President of the United States was hanging out with the President of Space, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson is hereby now, heretofore, forever too shall be, the President of actual space. Remember the movie Fifth Element? The Fifth Element. Oh, I remember that movie. That movie was crazy. She said multipass. He said, multipass. That's all I remember. Also, Chris Tucker screams a lot. There's a lot of high-pitched wailing in that movie. Chris Tucker, for the last 45 minutes of that movie, goes, coming. Some might find that irritating. Some named Aristotle Full Throttle. They might be watching that movie and then say, why are my ears hurting? Are my ears getting pierced? Coming. Ah! Yeah, I agree with you, Cardi B. I agree with you on the fact that Chris Tucker screams a lot in that movie, in particular. And a lot of people seem to like it. Lots of people love that movie. I don't know why. Neither do I. We're in the same boat. We foresee the same forecast. We review the same things, and we have the exact same opinion on everything. Thank you for that. That's not true, man. I totally disagree with you. Well, we saw a disagreement earlier in the program, and it almost led to a fight. But fighting should never be done without boxing gloves. So put your kid gloves on, and let's start the show. Oh yeah, it's gonna rain. Somewhere on Earth. Maybe in the tropics. This has been the Carl Weathers Predator Weather Report featuring the Action Jackson AccuPredator Doppler Radar Weather Radar Forecast and Cardi B. Oh man, how am I gonna fit my hand in? I'm gonna box you. But I have special boxing gloves with the nails cut out. So watch out. I'm gonna get a nail in your eye. If you remember, I was in all of the Rocky movies, except for the last few. And, I lost most of them. I lost most of the time. I had a draw in one of them, but most of the time I just kept losing. And if you're anything, hey everybody, listen, I tried to put my, hey Ange, what's up? First of all, hello, Colleen. Uh-oh. What's that? Why is that so small? Who's been spoiling everything? Colleen!
And I killed Sparky, too.
Hello, Ange.
Say, baby, I can destroy everything.
Well, let me make that bigger.
But I'm not. What? But I can. Baby. Shut up and give us your money.
I'll open it if I forget to open the voice. See, what I tried to do today, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. It is Aristotle Full Throttle. It is I, the guy. Welcome back. I hope you had a nice weekend. We're just gonna ease into it today with some slow jams. Hold on. Sorry, I was trying to connect my AirPods to the thing because I don't want these big cans on my head. I don't know. It just seems more like I don't hear the music. Do you guys hear the music? Can you hear me? You can hear me, right? Okay, good. Hold on. I've got the solution. Turn that on. There we go. Oh, there you go.
Is it Cheryl?
It's Cheryl. So I was trying to connect these, and it just doesn't show up anymore. It doesn't show up. I don't know why. You hear the music. Hello, Jen. Look, here we go. Jen. 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 Whoop. Jen. 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 And we're off to a great start. Hello, everybody. I was trying to I don't know why I have to resize the intros every time. Why do I have to resize the intros every time? I think I have to make a new group.
You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps?
Yes, I see what happens, Larry. Still, these headphones are not working. I don't know why. I'm about to hear some bargain basement AirPod knockoffs that somehow have a mic. What? Are they Beats? Because Beats are funny, because Beats are also owned by Apple, right? And Beats are $50 cheaper than the AirPods. What are they trying to do over there, Apple? You trying to repackage the same thing and try to tell me twice? Try to sell it to me 2 times?
It's a riddle.
We'll never know. Welcome back to the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. I want to talk today about misunderstandings. I believe the other day we had a misunderstanding. Because listen, you can go back and watch the video. I'm not going to sit here and talk about the video itself, but you can watch the video and then we could talk about that afterward. But I don't know, I kind of was bummed out. I've been bummed out for a few days because I'm like, you ever say something and you're just not thinking of how what you're saying is being heard because you're not communicating correctly, you're not communicating effectively? And this is what I believe happened. Because I don't, you guys can check out the Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord, remember to subscribe. I'm just like, I don't know, I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been thinking about this. It helps if you drink a lot of coffee because it feels like your heart's gonna explode. Misunderstandings. They happen, don't they? I don't know where to begin. Because I do want to get to this Venom 2 trailer. Let's put this up right here. Oh, that's the All For You video, because I want to watch that later. Let's see. Venom 2.
All I ever wanted in this world.
I mean, I don't think... if you've ever been misunderstood, it helps, especially if you're communicating something. This is like a generalization right now. I feel there's been a lot of generalizations in those specifics, and that's the problem I've been having. Is it a new Venom trailer? It's a new Venom trailer, Kitty. Thank you for showing up and saying hello. I appreciate you. We're gonna watch it in a minute. It just came out a few hours ago, so we're gonna get to that. I just wanted to say that I don't take sexism and racism. I don't think those are good things that those don't sit well with me. I don't feel like those are things that that this show and this environment, it's not welcome here personally. That is something that I don't espouse as a streamer. I would prefer. Hey Jen, what's up? I just saw you pop in the room. How's it going?
Hey. Good, how are you doing?
I'm a little frustrated for many reasons. One being that I can't connect these AirPods Pro to my computer.
Yeah, that was like
right
your
now.
new favorite thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I've got these gigantic headphones, which are also awesome. These were gifted to me by my mother. Thank you, Mom. Yes, I do. Let me turn down the music. It's so loud. Why was it so loud today? You guys should have been like, I can't hear you. You sound far away, or you're drowned in music. How was your weekend, Jen?
It was good. I was still kind of sick, but we did
you
some
got sick.
family stuff, which was fun.
You went to the amusement park. That's cool. Did you go on the roller coasters?
No, I didn't. I just held kids' backpacks while they went on the roller coasters.
Do you like roller coasters?
I used to like them when I was younger, but we were talking about this, me and the ladies, the moms. Like, now that we've had kids, our bodies can't take it anymore. We like get sick or we hurt our necks and stuff. But all the guys are going on, so our husbands are doing it.
Oh, well, I don't think I could handle it right now. My neck, I got like a slip disc in my neck now. It's because I think I did too much hand banging when I was a child. So now, like,
I checked out.
So I can't really. I'm serious. I'm like, I don't want to go on a roller coaster getting like knocked around. But did the kids
the
like
whiplash,
it?
It would be so bad. They had fun. Yeah, they had a blast.
Killer Kitty says, you did go on one ride. The one with all the water.
Yeah, there was this one thing. Yeah, the one with all the poison water that got me sick, I think. It was like a fake river that went around in a circle and had like a current, like a manufactured current, so you would just float in a circle. So I went on a tube and just floated around for like an hour. That was like really hot.
That's living your best life in July, because I haven't even found a pool yet. We're going away next week,
Nice.
and there's a pool. We were like, we need to go inside of a pool. It's the summer.
They had like a bar there too inside the amusement park with like pina coladas. I wanted to get a pina colada and like float around drinking it, but they wouldn't let me bring it in the water.
Oh, they're not. You should have snuck it in like
put it in like a Nalgene or something.
Yeah, just pour it into like a Slurpee. You know, I had a Slurpee yesterday.
You had a Slurpee, fun.
Yeah, I haven't had a Slurpee.
Did you do the thing that you do with all the flavors, or did you get one flavor?
You know me.
All the flavors. Okay.
I put them all. I stacked them up. You got to start with the blue raspberry, and then maybe you put a little lemonade in there, and then you put like Coca-Cola on top, and then you've got a Slurpee for you. K-Griff says carnival rides and or roller coasters also make you feel hung over without the fun part. I discovered that in college. Yeah. Who wants a hangover without the fun part? No, the other one, Killer Kitty said the log that crashes.
Yeah,
the
thanks,
flume.
Killer Kitty. Would you like me to talk about everything in my life, Killer Kitty, right now? There's like a giant. It's called the Boston Tea Party, and it's like a giant log flume ride, so you can have a lot of people on it. And when you go down into the water, it like shoots this giant, it makes this giant bubble of water that you go under, so it's like you're inside the water. It's really cool. That's
I do like the log flume ride. I went on that in like Hershey Park when I was a kid. Jed, hi. How's it going?
Good.
I heard your feelings the other day, and I felt terrible about it.
It's okay.
I feel like. So yeah. So what's up? What's going on? What's up?
How was your weekend? You said it was not good. It was.
No, it wasn't
you were
that
still
good.
feeling the stress from Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. It doesn't sit good to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked off stream because.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the Brie Larson stuff. There was some like other stuff that we had to talk about, and so I feel like I was just
First of all,
I don't know.
be careful. Don't say the BL person's name. Don't say that name.
The BL.
You can't
talk
say
about
that name.
BL.
We can't say that name on the internet. This is a hot button issue. Was not aware of all of the issue. Okay, let's move on from that.
Okay. So, yeah, I went back and rewatched on the Thursday stream, and I just kind of concluded it seemed like rewatching it and watching your face and what you were saying, it just seemed like you were being your silly, goofy self as usual, and that there was no like malicious intent or sexist attack so much as like I was already kind of extra sensitive, and I think a lot of it was my own, how I felt in my head, and then was feeling triggered by it a bit. Because, like, I don't know if you've heard, too, like, about all the Activision Blizzard stuff that's going on, too. Have you heard about all that stuff?
I haven't.
With video games. There's, like, a big investigation into the way they've been treating their females. So,
Yes, I have heard of that.
Like, and when it comes to the BL, there's a lot of,
Yes.
like, hate toward her for not being, like, as male gaze as I think men want her to be, you know? And so just the bringing up of the BL and her not being like as excited.
We could say Brie
enough.
Larson. We could say I was just kidding about that. I want, if this is something that I am unaware of, I don't know if anyone else is unaware of, so we should probably talk about it so that people are aware of it. Also, I just want to give a shout out to like Wesley. Yeah, Wesley. Let me just this is a very serious topic. But I should play Wesley's intro while he's here. So let's pause this topic and
Wesley.
watch this ridiculous intro.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Wait for it. Here. Yes, I did hear about the Blizzard situation that's going on and all of the sexual harassment that's been going on over there and stuff, and how people have not been. What else was going on? What was specifically going on about Brie Larson? And
oh well, just like she just gets hate a lot for not being like bubbly and happy enough and like not the what they wanted as like a female gaze kind of character, you know. And so I had never seen that music video of hers, and I really didn't care personally about the music part. It was just when you said that she wasn't happy enough to be like included in the MCU. Because in my perspective, I was thinking about how Scarlett Johansson's character has always been treated, you know? And so there's way more to it, I'm sure. And just like, ooh, cool, MCU, it might be fun to be a part of, but there's a lot of stuff that Scarlett Johansson had to deal with as a female in the MCU versus just being a superhero, you know? And only recently has her character been like less sexualized, like, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I would be hesitant and not like jumping for joy as a female, I think, to be included in the MCU. You know, because just like being scared a little bit of like, are people going to start objectifying me? Like, it wasn't necessarily like, yay for Scarlett Johansson at first, because I know personally as a female, I didn't even like her character, Black Widow, at first in the earliest parts of Marvel, you know?
And they do make like comments about her. Sexual, like.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen the interviews where like she constantly has to like redirect the conversation and be like, excuse, would you ask the males this about their underwear and what they had to do or their diet or, you know, like their body?
I would love to see that interview, actually.
There's so many interviews of her shutting down like sexist comments from the press junkets, you know? And so cool. I did listen to an interview with Brie Larson talking about how she was so hesitant about Marvel because it's not like a low profile thing, you know? It was going to put her in a lot of positions of press and stuff that she's going to have to deal with, you know?
Okay. Well, that's a perspective I didn't have.
Yeah.
So
and also like if I had thought about on Thursday, like the best thing would have been to get on the Discord then and talk to you, because I know you weren't being intentionally malicious, and it would have been a much more productive conversation than just making sniping comments in the chat. So I do apologize for that, because we had a misunderstanding personally, and I was too afraid to get in the Discords. But if I had done that, then I think it would have been a lot more of like friends just discussing how the media treats female superheroes instead of it seeming like a witch hunt against you, you know? Does that make sense?
Yes, I appreciate that, and thank you for that. And also, I would love to always discuss these things on this show. This is why these are the things I think we need to discuss and talk about and bring to light. And it's always okay to be like, hey, did you think of it this way? Or, you know, what you said hurt me, my feelings, and here's why. That is very important to me also, because I care about all you guys, and I care about you, Jen, and it's not ever like, so, you know, my intention is to make everybody laugh and have a good time for like an hour and just kind of sit back and chuckle. So, but it's also, I do appreciate a nudge and being like, hey, did you think of it this way? For instance, I have friends who will say things that they might not be aware that how it's affecting, like someone, I remember I had a friend who would say I was mulatto, and I'd be like, hey man, it's that's not I'm not a cookie. I am a person, and then my friend was like, oh, awesome, thank you very much. I didn't realize that I've been saying that my whole life, and my mom has told me that like I learned it from her, and you know, it's just something I thought you can say, and now I know that it's, for instance, I learned a term, like I'm going to say this term, it's not an acceptable term, but I will say it because it's a very common term that people will say. They'll say gypsy. So I learned about the history of people who were like migrants from Egypt to Spain and stuff, and they were called gypsies pejoratively. So that's not something. So I learned that, and and it was helpful.
I learned too that like when you say someone gypped you, it's like a reference to their having a bad character, and I never knew that. I thought it was a separate, like, common saying until I learned it, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't say that anymore.
Exactly, and that's the same thing that happened with me. When I said that, they were like, you can't say that because of this is what, or if you say that, just know that this is what it comes from and what it means. And that is a very helpful way for me to learn, and that's a very helpful way for me to inform others in case they don't know something. So that is always appreciative. If there are some serious allegations leveled, I would like to have some evidence, please. So I urge, that was what's frustrating me these last few days, is I feel like there was a comment made and I was like, I am confused. Please clear this up for me. Please help elucidate what happened. Provide me with some concrete examples so I can learn from this. And I feel like I wasn't given that, and that was very frustrating for me. Not by you, but you know, just Gregory Fennel. Hey, how are you? Etymology of words are so important. I totally agree with you, Gregory Fennel. And we're talking about all kinds of things like that. We're talking about being misunderstood and also understanding what you're saying while you're saying it. And look, my intention is to crack everybody up and have some fun and maybe accidentally inform everybody about something. I don't know. And I think this discussion is important. Thank you, Jenna Fierce, for, talking with me about this. Are there any more?
No, I just think, I don't know if this is another thing appropriate for a stream or not, but I think the other person was they're trying, like I talked about privately, just trying to be an ally, and so that I wasn't the only one in the room. Because I don't know, I feel like there was just an attempt to not make me have to be the only female in the room defending Brie Larson too, you know? So I hope you get a chance to talk to them, because I know their intentions, I think, were just chivalrous, but but also kind of stuck you on the line and like under the bus.
Yeah, well, I haven't had a chance. Well, I haven't had a chance. I haven't done it. I feel like it was I kind of need a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm just, if the conversation has started publicly, and then I would like to continue that conversation publicly, but I would prefer if it's listen, HR says if there's an issue going on, you should speak to the person privately. That's what HR says. Am I right? This is HR back here, which is more. And I do appreciate the solidarity. And I do, but I feel like my frustration is feeling misunderstood in general in life as a human. I'm like, nobody gets it. Nobody understands what I'm trying to say ever. So I'm trying to communicate more clearly and more effectively. Also, if we want, we can watch. Hold on a second. We can watch this music video from 2006, which is my own music video. And I'm not. Look, what's going on with that guy's hair? Come on now. Both of these guys, they got the long hairs in this band. See, I feel like I would just look at what's in front of me and talk about exactly that. So maybe we'll do that later, after we watch the trailer for
All I ever wanted.
Venom. But I totally hear what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying, Jen. And you listen. I hope I'm not sexist. I really work hard to combat implicit biases and not participate in social, like, acceptable, or at least socially what's the word, like things that proliferated socially, like people keep doing I can't come up with words today. The things that people perpetuate, things that are perpetuated socially. I don't participate in those things. So if I say something that is sexist, please let me know. If I say something that's racist or anything else, please let me know. I value that, and I feel like it helps me learn and grow as a person. And that's the most important thing for me. I don't think that also, because, listen, I didn't know about, we're saying name, Brie Larson's controversy so much. I just knew my personal observation of certain, when I feel like it got, and I hear you, like, I understand that the fans are like, you're telling me, they're saying she's not bubbly enough for the fandom, and what was my point in that? That was the thing. I was thinking, and I even said it on the stream the other day, she has no obligation to the fandom. She has zero obligation to the fandom. I felt personally disappointed because there are people like Katie Sackhoff who are like, they're on the geeky podcast. Like, I feel like I could ask Katie Sackhoff to be on this show because she's so involved. She wants to like roll around in the fandom and have fun and just, it's like a. It's
when you
big...
brought up Katie Sackhoff, like that was a good point. But because at first you were saying like the guy who plays Loki, Tom Hiddleston, and like the Marvel Universe is like 85% males, and like so there's probably still like 70% of the males who weren't as excited as him, And it's just, I was feeling it wasn't fair because there's not as many girls,
right?
And so Brie was like getting picked on. But then you brought up Katie Sackhoff, and I was like, okay, that one's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, and that like, and just trust that the individuals was who I was thinking. I mean, I'm asking you to believe me because the individuals were the people I was thinking of. I was not thinking of gender. I was not associating in my mind them with gender. I was just thinking, from my point of view, I was like, Brie Larson, I love you so much. I think you're so great. You're an incredible actor. How come you scoff at the fact that I like comic books, or whatever? Like, I felt I'm looking up at Brie. I don't think I was punching down at all. And I was looking up at her saying, you're so great. And I feel sometimes left behind because, maybe just from a personal standpoint, I've seen like one or two interviews and there was something she did or said where I was like, wow, she kind of in the interview was like, oh yeah, Marvel's over there, but you know, and I was just like, oh, and which is cool, but she has no obligation to me. She has no obligation to anybody but herself, and I appreciate that. And me talking about the video was just me talking about a video from a time I was in a band making videos, making music, going, this was a contemporary artist and here's why I'm going to be critical of it. And it wasn't at all in my mind like, but Will educated us in the Discord. Will kind of like put into perspective socially, you know, it's like, well, if you are doing something that is sort of continuing, that is still on, I don't know how to say it. Read it in the Discord.
Another thing too is like the other thing I was thinking about though when you were talking about her music.
Sorry, gotta change the song. Go ahead.
Did you hear anything about Kesha and the legal stuff that she was dealing with her music producers?
My heart goes out to Kesha. You can check all the tweets I made about that at the time, because I was like, I cried when Kesha's video came out a year after she got rid of all of those people legally. She got disassociated with those people and then came out with a video. And I'm getting choked up now thinking about it. Go check out my Twitter. I was like, I retweeted
That's what
her
I was
video.
thinking about, when you brought up like some of it, because I was like thinking like how much, and I have no facts about what it was like for, like, I don't know. I didn't even know she sang. So I have no idea what the facts are with Brie Larson. But my first thought was like, what if it was something like Kesha? Like sometimes there's no control creatively, or they've signed a contract and certain things are now being decided for them, you know? And I just remember how heartbroken I was when I heard all about Kesha and the bad deal she signed and how much it ruined her life.
It was heartbreaking.
That the idea of email and music can be a lot more complicated than just, oh, what a bad song. Like, I don't know what's going on behind that, because I thought Kesha's stuff was like, oh, just silly music, and then to hear what was really going on, you know?
What's up, Ricky? Curious how any of this explains his comments on her weight and healthiness. I will happily explain that to you, as from where I was coming from on that. It wasn't just a critiquing another person, it was how it was done. But like I said to Jen offline, it wasn't that it was the first time or the second or third. It's been a pattern for the show, and it's not just related to sexism. I would like examples on that second one.
You should join the Discord, Ricky, because I think that would be good. Because
regarding
I think we're all very socially conscious people who want to defend women's rights, you know, and people who are different, you know.
I would like to address the body image issue, because that is important to me. When I was watching the video, I did make a comment about Brie Larson's weight, because at the time I was in a band. I was pointing out the conditions of the industry. Please go back and watch it. I was pointing out the pressures she must have been feeling, and that maybe I didn't explain this in these words, but in my mind, I was pointing out the body image pressures that people feel, which I have serious body image issues personally. So when I saw that, I recognized it. So look at pictures of me at the time. I felt, for me, looking at myself, I was very, and this is me talking about myself. I was very thin. The term's manorexic. So me looking at that was me reacting to that in my mind. If you want to discuss this further, I'm happy to discuss this. All this is about you saying the same thing about a guy doesn't make it right. Okay. You aren't subject to a life of woman. That's true. Bree, 5 foot 7 inches, 128 pounds. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about her now. I was looking at an image and thinking about the time in the music industry, and thinking, my brain was like, wow, she was. I could picture in 3D in real time the people around her pressuring her. That was me thinking that. Yes, this is true. I agree with you, Ricky. Society treats genders different. We know this. I mean, the Coming to America. Oh, hold on a second. I have to decline this call. When you had a problem with the rape joke and it being the plot of the film, I remember that, Ricky. I do. I think a major. I don't have a problem, Ricky, with you having a problem with that joke. I personally, it didn't jump out at me in the way that it jumped out at you. Does that make me, what does that make me? But that's the best way to explain it, though. Through his own experience, it's still coming from a place of authenticity. You know what? We've graduated to a whole new level of YouTuber. We got drama. We've got the drama. Aristotle Full Throttle, comedy and drama. Not only the happy face, but the sad face. It was more that when it was pointed out, it was dismissed as, it's comedy. Ricky, I'm sorry that I dismissed you. And that movie is no Oscar winner. That movie I just thought was aight as a movie. The plot of Leslie Jones, quote, there is a scene where she date rapes Eddie Murphy in the movie. I didn't think it was funny. I just don't know if that's my personal battle against. Like, I don't know what more I can do other than not promote the film and say that there's a joke in there that I didn't like. Comedy is tragedy plus time. I like that, Gregorio Salamanca L. Comedy is tragedy plus time. I might need some time. I think I might take next week off because I'm going away. I'm going away for a couple days. That was the pool I mentioned. But Ricky, if there's a pattern, what I'm asking, what I'm genuinely requesting, is that people tell me, because this is a discussion. It's not a dictation. I would like to have a conversation about this. I'm sorry that I dismissed you. This stuff does get brought up, and the reaction to it, not ideal. Well, Ricky, what's very frustrating to me is saying this stuff happens all the time, which then say it, please. And not ideal, just tell me what ideal is. If there is an ideal, I strive to do it. I strive to be there. I strive to be the ideal. I am not ideal. Which is perhaps the standard that you're holding me to, which I appreciate. But I'm going to tell you I'm not ideal. I am who I am. I'm working on it. So, well, listen, if there are things that need to be discussed, I would like to talk about them. What else can I say?
Talking about me and Ricky did talk, and I told him that you'd hurt my feelings recently, and you and I talked about it all. I don't think Ricky has that information. You and I had a good conversation this weekend, and I told you how my feelings had been hurt. So that truth that was mine to tell, I told you. So if Ricky wants to talk about me, that's totally fine. But
look,
I appreciate that you're hearing him, and I care about you both. And I think that you're both doing a good job of listening to each other, communicating. And I feel like there should be some more private conversations between you two, because I think you're both awesome, and I would hate for you to have a falling out because of misunderstanding. I think that Ricky's trying to say, and I don't want to speak for him, but I can hear what that he's saying, that there's some things that you shouldn't try to speak for women or try and step into a conversation that's not yours to have because you've never been a woman. Similarly to there's some things that you and Ricky talk about that I don't try to step into because I've never been a person of color, And so there's conversations you guys have that I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't relate. That kind of stuff has never offended me. But I'm not going to say it's not valid because I have no idea what it's like to be a person of color. So I have no idea if I'm just going to assume that's a valid thing,
That's fair.
I care about you so much, and I hope that this isn't making you feel even more attacked, which it probably is, but I appreciate your openness to have this conversation when you're on the spotlight. Like, I really appreciate that.
Of course. Listen, I put myself out there. I'm subject to criticism. I'm subject to ridicule. This is part of it. I accept that part of it. What I want to do is be constructive about it. I don't feel like that there should be a slamming a door and walking away kind of thing. And if that needs to happen, then I'll wait. I'm okay. I'm not trying to make enemies here. I'm trying to make friends, like Cosmo.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Cosmo!
Hello.
Cosmo! Cosmo! Cosmo!
Cosmo!
Cosmo! I'm Cosmo!
What do you say, Cosmo?
Hello.
I'm Cosmo!
I didn't come here to make friends. That's what they always say on every reality show. We were just watching, what were we just watching? Are You the One? Did you watch that? It's a dating show on MTV. It is it's very long. There's 537 episodes per season. And it is totally mindless and fun. Yeah. I hear everybody. I hear you both. And what would help me, again, I'm asking, is an example of something that I might do habitually, or a thing that I might be saying specifically, so that I know that when it comes up, this helps my brain. This helps me grow as new neural pathways. That if I have the actual, here is what you did, here is how to do that better. So that is very much appreciated. It does feel a little like an attack on my character, and just it hurts. It personally just hurts. It feels like crap. I've been losing sleep because I don't feel like that's my goal in life, is to hurt people. I think it's quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. So yeah, a concrete example with a concrete solution helps me learn to come out and say, you do this all the time, and you do this like type of thing, and the way you handle it is not good. So I don't look. I'm still growing. I didn't know all of the things all my whole life, and it's a learning curve. I think we're seeing a distinction between taking a sideline approach versus supporting people in the understanding of others. Explain that further. I think we're seeing a distinction between taking a sideline approach versus supporting people in the understanding of others. Yes. I think I know what you're saying. Sort of. Wait. Who wants to watch the Venom 2 trailer? Cosmo. Well, I want to feel like I want to feel some kind of road to resolution here.
So, like, I was looking through my conversation with Ricky, and there was another time that I forgot that I didn't bring up with you yet, because you want us to bring stuff up, right?
Yeah, do it.
I think it was like a week or 2 weeks ago, or sometime ago, you were talking about Scarlett Johansson and how you were mad that she not be with you when she could be, and she was with some ugly guy. And I felt like I don't think you call him ugly exactly, but like
I said rich,
him.
famous, smart, talented, handsome Colin Jost. I said those things about him. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry. It's not. I don't have to bring it up if it's gonna make you defensive. Are you offended? Are you upset? I don't want.
Well,
so,
I mean, I can.
The point is, yeah.
Go ahead.
For me, it was again coming through like my own perspective, and my head was thinking like, oh, so why? I don't know. That like, it just felt personally as a female, but just as me, Jen. And it's like, not saying this is what you were doing, but it just felt like it was like Scarlett Johansson had some sort of inherent extra worth just because she's like hot, white, hot, I guess.
Well, I don't. Okay, I hear you what you're saying,
and it just felt kind of like shallow, but that's that's from my perspective, because I really bothered by that in general. So I think I again was like extra seeing that there when it might not. It's not actually there. Does that make sense? So that's the other thing that I had mentioned to Ricky, that like the Scarlett Johansson conversation had irked me, just because I'm hyper frustrated by like the world in general, just seeing like skin deep, and so it's just like a trigger for me, not necessarily a reflection on how you feel in your heart or what in your brain,
Gotcha.
I just wanted to bring that up because that was another thing that we didn't bring up in our conversation before. So I just want to make sure that like I brought up all this stuff. Does that make sense?
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for telling. Yeah, it makes sense, and I appreciate that.
Also, I could intellectually also think about the times that we've watched shows, and I've been like, "Ooh, look at that dude." So I also am aware that it's not you, or it's what I mean, specifically just you thing. Like I was thinking in my head intellectually as well, like, oh, I have made comments about male actors when we've done watch parties, so it's completely fair and valid and not something you did wrong. It's just that's one of the only other things that kind of irked me about the show, but that was for my own trigger reasons.
I hear you.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And I said this to you the other day. People got feelings, and feelings is real things. So that is valid, what you felt. I can tell you in that moment, I was like, oh, here's kind of a way to make this funny. Or I was thinking, this is a little bit edgy for my show, but I feel like, Scarlett Johansson is universally loved in my point of view. And I was just sort of making a joke like they do on Weekend Update when like Michael Che makes fun of Colin Jost and saying, oh yeah, you're with ScarJo, and like, ha ha ha. Like, so I was just sort of coming at it from that point of view, but I get it. I don't normally
I know you don't.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time it's ever come up. And also, when I rewatch things, the VODs, I can see that it's just, Goober Aristotle being a goofball, And a lot of the times it's just colored by my own experience as a female, just like hyper vigilant and weary of like the world being objectifying,
And the world is, and it sucks. It sucks for a lot of, in a lot of ways, and in all of the ways it can suck. And for the record, I think Scarlett Johansson is one of the greatest actors we have right now. I don't just see her as a beautiful person. I think that she's, incredible for like the last 30 years on in movies. So, yeah, from my point of view, from my perspective in that moment, and I remember it because I felt like, hey, should I dance on this line here? But it was just more of me trying to be self-deprecating, saying, like, why, like, not that I should, quote, deserve to be with someone of her status, but or for any reason. So that was just me sort of making fun of myself, I think, in that time. It's just trying to get a laugh. But I hear you, and I will be more cognizant of that. Cosmo says, like letting people do their own thing because of ignorance, reluctance, and standing on the sidelines versus supporting someone and trying to understand an aspect of life we have no connection / affiliation to. Like being a person, or our sexuality, gender, or many sitting on the sidelines can feel very dismissive. Okay. And putting into consideration
that we're like doing the hard work of like having the conversation instead of just sidelining and being like, let's not deal with that hard. That's a hard topic. Let's just put it to the side,
Yeah, I agree. I think that's why, even when a troll comes in the room and they just say like something, I make an attempt or two to try to connect on an intellectually honest level with the person who comes in the room just trying to cause a scene or troll. I do make an honest attempt, and then if they aren't willing to participate, we block them. But we give them a chance. I know, Jen, you're on that block button, and I appreciate that. Like, it's not my job to teach people because I'm pansexual, but I see who supports me and are in my corner, per se. Yes. I support you, and I'm in your corner. Okay, Griff. Yeah, I mean, most times we need to shut up and listen, but sometimes, due to human nature and implicit bias, we only learn through mistakes. Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay to learn through mistakes. It's okay to learn through mistakes, people. I believe if you are to know everything to do, if you do everything right the first time, congratulations. Congratulations. You are Tilda Swinton. And having receipts for mistakes. Fair enough, Ange. Listen, I do appreciate the specific examples. It will help me personally. And if it's a pattern, there's something that I like to do. I like to recognize patterns, and I like to break habits, bad habits. So I'm willing and open to all of those things.
Stop all the downloading!
Get kind of my capacity for currently. I mean, I would like to continue this conversation. I'm just stressed.
When does Venom
my body
come
is
out?
stressed.
When does Venom come out?
Let's see. Venom. I don't even know. Is it coming out on streaming as well as... let's see. Venom 2021, September 24th, 2021. I mean, my sensitivity meter is very low growing up black in the South, so I'm trying to understand. Ant's got thick skin. Yeah. Nah, I feel like everybody's got the things that quote trigger them, and trigger is not, I'm not saying that in the like, oh, you're a liberal and you're triggered. I'm saying that is like there are literal environmental triggers for people that create real actual experiences in those people and emotions. So you know, there are.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, of course. You can say as much as you want.
Like all the things that I brought up is just because I care about you and I really want to have a healthy relationship because you're one of my favorite people. And I personally have like a really low tolerance for misogyny because I grew up in a household with an abusive male figure who had like a tyrannical approach. And so the only reason why I even care about you so much is because you are one of the like 1% of males who I feel respected by and seen as a human and not as just a female. So even though we've had to have these conversations, like it's not because you're sexist and you're falling off a cliff of like being a misogynist jerk, you know? It's just because I have a life like this and so I can get triggered sometimes, and Jake triggers me sometimes too. But you're still like the top tier of dudes that I've ever had the privilege to hang out with and know. So it's
I'm not crying, you're crying.
It's all out of love because if you were actually falling down misogynist, I just would have walked away and stopped watching a long time ago. But I like you so much. You're pretty awesome.
Well, I like you, Jen. Thank you so much for being a part of the show and supporting me and seeing me. And I see you and I hear you. And yeah, it's yeah. I appreciate you telling me all of your thoughts. It's really important to me. I can also speak to what Jen said. I just want love. I just want love. It's a love fest, man. I'm look. Hopefully, I appreciate your kind words, Jen. It really is. Like I'm struggling to try not to cry right now because I'm trying to be stoic because stoic is masculine.
You can be a cry because you're not a toxic masculine man. You're a real man, so you can cry.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I feel you, Condor. When that's your life, like it's it's always going to be a trigger there forever.
Yeah, it's real. It's not. Oh man, am I a crying YouTuber right now? Leave Brittany alone.
You
are. So, yes. Triggers are real. And
I know we probably triggered you a lot too. So I'm so sorry. I know you also have your own triggers. So I'm so sorry.
This is great. I mean, this is what I needed. I appreciate. I needed to hear what you guys were feeling and thinking, and I wanted to hear your feelings and everything. It's not a waste of time to too much work. It's what needs to be done. Yeah. This is what Gregorio Salamanca L asks, what month was I born? January.
That's a good random question.
Thank you.
What's your astrological sign?
I think he's going to go into like the TVA and like search some, I don't know. He's going to search my astrological sign. Yes, is the community. I agree. This is a community that I hope we can grow together and also be a positive force. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's just so many Charlie Kirks and Ben Shapiros that are just like disingenuously out there saying a bunch of crap just because they want people to subscribe or they want to feed into hate. They want to feed into negativity because it lines their pockets. So I don't ever want to be that. I'd rather be an example of how to actually communicate effectively and work together to solve problems instead of just, being a Charlie Kirk. To be honest, I don't even understand why anyone would ever listen to anything Charlie Kirk has to say ever. That's the last time I'll say his name on the air. We did it. Let's see.
We did it. We did hard things. Good job, guys.
I did it.
Yeah. She's like, I'm so tough. No, it's not me crying. I got allergies. I think it's great being able to come around other people who want to be better humans to help others be better humans to fellow humans. I couldn't have said that better myself. And I'm glad I didn't say it. Hold on. Let me read that again. I think it's funny. I think it's great being able to come around other people who want to be better humans to help others be better humans to fellow humans. That sounds. Hold on a second. I'm going to read that one more time. Hold on. But this joke is no longer funny, but it will be funny for me. I think it's great being able to come around other people who want to be better humans to help others be better humans to fellow humans. I had to figure out I had to draw an arrow. Let's see. It makes perfect sense. I just had to add all together everything. Wait, Kill a Kitty. So carry the one is have you ever had a that is hey Ange, did you see that I shared the have you ever had a dream kid? He's grown up now, and this guy followed him and is actually he interviewed him. He's like he's just like, I was 4. It's one of the cutest videos ever. Kill a Kitty has a special way with words, but Kill a Kitty.
It's a riddle. My experts tell me it's a pyramid.
Well, thank you guys for all the patience and understanding. I promise to have patience and understanding with you. If there's anything I ever say or do that is like, hey, maybe this could be better on any level of this show, I'm just saying, I would like for there to be a good show, a positive show, a moving in the right direction type of show. Also,
the Force will be with you, always.
Okay, I think
All
we're
I
ready.
ever wanted in this world is carnage.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Cosmo, Ange, Killeen, everybody for contributing to the conversation. Thank you, Gregorio. Is it Gregorio or Gregorio? I forget. Is it a soft G? Is it Cheryl?
Is it Cheryl?
Hold on. Let's see. And also, there's a lot of people here in the discussion today. Oh, it's one for the record books. We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got real YouTube drama going on here at Aristotle Full Throttle. But we resolved the drama here. We like to work on things. Yeah, I feel correct. Improve, Ari. Just bring receipts. Thank you, Ange. That sums it up. But it's all about it's community. Build the community. Gregorio. That's a beautiful name. All right, everybody. Let there be carnage. And you came out wrong, but it also was right at the same time. Also, did you see who else was out there?
Thunder! 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 Thundercats!
In case I have to kill you, I just wanted to say thanks. You made some pretty stupid choices since you've been in charge, but you're always trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. Let's just rewind that.
kill you. I just wanted to say thanks. You made some pretty stupid choices since you've been in charge, but you're always trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I think Lion Kitty hit the nail on the head right there. All right, I think it's time.
All I ever wanted in this world is carnage.
All right, you got...
Lady, we should be out there snacking on bad guys. I am a predator.
He's a predator.
I need to be free.
You're in the wrong movie.
You've got to get control of your aggression.
We will get hauled off
What's the forecast?
51.
You live in my body. You live by my rules.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please let me fix it so I can play it again.
No!
You are a loser.
He hates himself.
Eddie Brock, I want to give you my story. People love serial killers.
Cletus, why me?
What's mine is yours. And what's
Woody
yours
Harrelson.
is mine.
Can I make a comment about it? Listen.
I have tasted
In all
blood.
sincerity, can I make a comment about Woody Harrelson's wig? Are we off limits?
You can do that.
Okay.
Not it.
That's not his real hair, right?
That is nowhere near Woody. Listen, he's a proud bald man. He goes around with his bald look because men sometimes are bald. Women sometimes are bald. Mostly men characteristically will lose their hair. Androgynous, what's it? Androalopecia. Woody, and the funny thing is about movies is like you can't not have hair if you're a man in movies. Generally speaking, you can, but if you look now, there are so many more people with actual hair system. I'm not going to do this right now because I'm just saying that there is a pressure for men to maintain their hair in movies for sure. And also, why can't there be bald guys? Why can't Woody Harrelson just be a bald guy? But I know that Cletus is in the comic books. He has hair. And Woody Harrelson's a great actor.
All I ever wanted in this world is
Ooh.
carnage.
Is it Cletus? Is it Clovis? Wait, now hold on a second. I'll go back and through it and pause it.
I'm not a crazy man. I am a vengeful one.
Ooh. I really like Woody Harrelson.
Oh, shit!
Whoa, where you going?
That is a red one!
You need to come out right now. I will let you eat everybody!
Promise!
I promise!
Oh, yeah!
What a weird take, but cool. Fine.
Betty, you feel like home to me. Like family.
His Haymitch wig from King.
Oh, wow.
You could just say, I'm happy for you.
That was going to be us!
I am happy for you.
No!
God, I'm so sorry.
Not sorry!
This dude needs some serious couples counseling.
All right. Now let's do a little breakdown.
All I ever wanted in this world is carnage.
So he's the spawn of Venom. You're so tired of Imagine Dragons-esque covers of oldies and trailers.
Lady,
Yes.
we should be out there snacking on bad guys. I am a predator. I need...
I still haven't seen the last 10 minutes of the first movie. I don't know what happens.
to be free.
You have got to get control
There's a
of your
first
aggression.
movie?
Yeah, this one is
It was a sequel?
it came out like 2 years ago.
I gotta watch that. Is it not by Disney?
It's by Sony, I think, and it's not.
Oh.
So what they're trying to do is Sony licensed the Spider-Man character to Marvel, but they still own other characters in the Spider-Man comics, like Venom. So now they're like, well, we're gonna make Venom, but they're sort of tangentially trying to relate this to the MCU, or at least there's some kind of plan to maybe get Venom in the MCU.
Because I finally finished my whole chronological watch, and this was not in there. The first one.
No, it's not. It's not part of the MCU technically, because it's. I think, if anybody has more accurate information, I think it's like the first movie is its own solo timeline. So there's no Spider-Man in it as we know him. There's no. Yeah. It's just, I think Sony still sort of owns the Spider-Man villains, or they co-own them. So they're like, we're going to make these movies, but the MCU is killing it. So we're going to give them Spider-Man, which is the central character to these group of characters. So it's interesting.
Andy Serkis directed it. Is he the guy who played Gollum?
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings? Okay.
And he's also the Claw. Which, yeah, Andy Serkis, I did hear about that. It's an interesting question, Ricky. How did Andy Serkis direct this? It seems like this would be his wheelhouse because of the performance capture situation.
51. You live in my body. You live by my rules.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please let me fix it so I can play it again.
So they're having a falling out. My screen name mention isn't worth. What I'm missing? I missed the. Yeah, I agree with the oldies just turning into. That's Three Dog Night. That's a great song.
Eddie Brock, I want to give you my story. People love.
Time out. Lord of the Rings show on Amazon got announced for September premiere. Ooh. Now, is the Lord of the Rings show, is it just a retelling of the whole story? Or does it just take place in the same universe? And they're like, yo, we could write like J.R.R. Tolkien. Why don't we just make a TV series? Said the two guys who ruined Game of Thrones. I think, yeah, there is a prequel novel.
Cletus,
Why me?
what's mine
Cletus.
is yours. And what's yours is mine.
Oh, he's gonna. That's how he gets infected. My parents saw Three Dog Night in the 90s. They deserve better than this. I've always really liked Venom. That seems Venom adjacent, but not really Venom. I think it's in the universe.
I have tasted blood before, and that is not it.
Oh, he ate Venom. Literal Venom. So, that's all you have to do is bite Venom?
All I ever wanted in this world is carnage. I'm not a crazy man. I am a vengeful one.
Oh, shit! Whoa, where you going? That is a red one! You need to come my way.
What are the distinctions between Venom and Carnage? Powers.
No. I will let you eat everybody! Promise! I promise! Oh, yeah!
So is Cletus taking on the DNA of both Eddie Brock and Venom?
Eddie, you feel like home to me.
Why does D.H. Woody Harrelson look like they layered Matthew McConaughey's face over Woody's? Is this True Detective sequel for Everyone Wanted? I feel like they're such the good team up. They're so complementary, but also they're like two peas in the pod. Those two guys. I kind of miss, personally, I miss the Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes team up movies, but Wesley Snipes is kind of persona non grata.
Like family.
Oh, wow.
You could just say, I'm happy for you.
That was going to be us.
I am happy for you.
No!
God, I'm so sorry.
Not sorry.
It's too much.
So, are they crowbar? Like, she's the only woman in this trailer, it looks like. Just saying. There's no Bechdel test passing here, but are they doing the thing where like are they gonna Natalie Portman her in the Avengers, where they just kind of show her on one scene and one screen and then carry on? Anyway, interesting. Thoughts on the trailer? Seeing from Dan Veep being punched in the face is so satisfying. Oh, I didn't know that's a guy from Veep. That show's over though, right? Let's see.
I am happy for you.
You like? That's a sucker punch. That's a sucker punch though. Neither one of us can un-Texas anything. Let me go forward again. Carnage is the first offspring of Venom. Oh. He didn't have the same powers, but the ability to create things like swords and daggers. It's a southern drawl for me. Well, you know, he seems like a formidable opponent. I think that Tom Hardy always brings something interesting to whatever he's doing. Woody Harrelson is just kind of like he's like an old coat that fits just right. He's like a warm blanket. You see Woody Harrelson, you say, that feels familiar. He's always good. He always makes me believe what he's actually saying, so that makes him a good actor. There are certain actors out there that are like, they just, you know, they might be the same person every time. Jack Nicholson. Hack Nicholson. No. So, but Jack Nicholson, for instance, I used to use him as an example. I've got to find some more examples that are more modern. But Jack Nicholson, he's pretty much always Jack Nicholson. There have got to be more modern examples, but there are Bruce Willis, maybe. He's always the same guy. But I believe him. I believe that guy when he's talking. I believe what he's saying. And Woody Harrelson is kind of always the same guy. But I believe him. I think when George Harrison Ford played Branch Rickey in 42, I think he was terrible because he was trying to not be just Harrison Ford in a movie. Harrison Ford, listen, I don't think he's a great actor. It's hot take. Harrison Ford, not a great actor. But there's a charisma about him that for some reason that he just keeps getting hired. 1996 Vanity Fair cover, taped up in my locker for at least 2 years. The opposite are actors like Tilda Swinton, who can be literally any human being ever. That's more astounding to me. I don't know, my brother and I had this argument one time about actors, and he's like, this actor can change themselves into this person, and every time I see this actor, I don't recognize them because they're always completely different. They just change themselves entirely and become a whole different person. And I was like, well, that's cool, but there are also actors who pretty much retain the same quality, and but they're able to be convincing about whatever they're saying and doing. And then there's Jason Momoa, who they're just not, listen, they're Aquaman. I appreciate your Aquaman service, Jason Momoa. You seem like a cool guy. I like you. You're charismatic. If I'm to be critical of your acting, I feel like I touched a hot stove. I can't criticize anything. But can I objectively say that Jason Momoa, he does the job, right? I don't personally think his style or his technique is perfectly on point. Just from my perspective, if I were to use an example of someone who keeps getting work. Okay, here's a perfect example. Keanu Reeves, notoriously, people make fun of the fact that, you know, he's a very specific guy in every movie. But we love him. We love him for it. Jason Momoa is gonna Jason Momoa, and Keanu Reeves is gonna Keanu Reeves. They're gonna be like, all right, well, there go Keanu Reeves, and I like that. Give that guy another movie. I'll watch another 2 hours of him shooting people in the head, because that's how they would do it. I was watching the Stunt People React video, and it's really cool because they really do. They were breaking down the fact that if you are to do gun fu, if you are going to go into a room and shoot everybody, you're just going to try to get headshots like John Wick and just get everybody in the head and kill them real quick. You're not going to sit there and try to twirl your gun around and spin around. You're just going to efficiently try to dispatch everybody that you can. So the John Wick movies are insane if you're ever watching. Now, look at that. That looks like a comic book panel right there. These powers are pretty vague. Pretty vague. He could grow his arms real long and slap people across the helicopter. Years after he hit big, it was like, that's the dude from that Super Bowl. That stupid show. I thought he said Super Bowl. That stupid show. Yeah, K. Griff. Wasn't he on Baywatch? He was on Baywatch or something. Jason Momoa. We made this, I don't know if I can find it in time, but probably gonna wrap up pretty soon. But we made a photoshopped picture called Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa. That was it. Oliver, if you're watching, send me the image that we photoshopped of Jason Momoa. Because a moa was a 9-foot bird from the island of New Zealand that is now extinct. But we put Jason Momoa's head on the top of it, and it said Jason Momoa. So it's a meme. Kids love it. There's something about a Hawaiian resort starring Brooke Burns. It sounds familiar. I remember it was like a beach show, right? Listen, some people, they just keep getting hired. I think it's just, sometimes it's easier for producers or whatever. I found that maybe that's why, listen, freelance life is like that too. You find a bunch of people who just keep hiring you. And I think there are people in Hollywood that are continually work because they work well with others and they find a bunch of people who keep hiring them and we keep paying to see them consistently. So I was saying the other day, it is important. Oh, maybe we'll talk about Scarlett Johansson suing Disney tomorrow. But there's such an important aspect to who gets paid what in movies. And, but what's the first question you ask when someone says, have you seen this movie? Have you seen that movie? What's the first question you ask? Who is in it? Who's in it? I don't know. Who's in it? So we always ask the question, who is in the movie? So there's probably some justification as to why the stars of the movie get paid a lot of money. We want to know who's in the movie because we'll tend to keep seeing movies that have certain people. I will always see a movie. If I see that Robert Downey Jr. is in a movie, if I see that, I think Meryl Streep, the GOAT, if Frances McDormand is in a movie, I know it's worth watching. One of my best friends sent me a Jason Momoa coloring book, and when I started treatment, I'm not a super fan or anything. She just wanted to be random and make me laugh. It worked. That's hilarious. Did you get to do this tattoo? This just filling it in. Jason Momoa is his IG. Ooh. Thank you for the word origin, Gregorio Salamanca. Interesting. Maybe he is got some I just did this rim shot before the joke. Just trust me, it was funny. All right, well.
I see him!
Oh, hell no. What's up,
Hello
dog?
there.
I think it's time to go.
Game over, man. It's game over.
We did it. We did it. We conquered some big things. We enjoyed some little things. We might need a nap. We might need a cookie and a nap. I am going away next week. I might take all of next week off. I am undecided. I want to, I actually do want to get back to TikToking. I was on TikTok yesterday looking at them, TikToks. And I said, oh man, this is fun. I want to do this. This is so much fun. I might muster a TikTok later. It's so like, even if TikTok goes out of style, which I feel like it's on the decline because Reels are a thing now on Instagram. Thank you, Jen, for chatting with me and sharing. I care about all you guys. It's important to me that all you get heard as much as I talk. I mean, I don't know. It's an open platform. Everybody gets to talk. Everybody, you got something to say? Say it. I'm curious. I want to know people's thoughts. I want to hear what's going on. I just am a curious person. And I might have to recoup. Uh-oh, Cosmo's looking for my TikTok. He said to look for my TikTok. That puts the pressure on. I'm very sensitive. I have a sensitive spirits, and I try to. That's why I bring this up because I feel the pressure of TikTok. There's a pressure to perform. There's a pressure to be funny every time, and now you can't be funny every time. You try to be funny every time. Sometimes you don't even try and you're funny. Sometimes you try too hard and you're not funny. This is such is life.
Who is this imbecile?
So I'm working on it, guys, and I hope you can work on it with me. I don't know how I feel about Venom. For real, I'm just like, it looks like an action. It looks like kind of, Not very stoked to see it. The first one was okay. The second one, I think Sony's just sort of doling out some money to be like, hey, make some money off of this property that we have. And it's not the greatest. To be honest, it's not the greatest. I do like the character Venom. I would like to see him in opposition directly with Spider-Man. Will we get that? I wonder. I wonder if will get Spider-Man versus Venom. I wonder if they will tie this into the multiverse of madness. They technically can do these things. Sony. I will share the pitch meetings. I might have shared it already, but between Sony and Marvel, there's a pitch meeting, which are hilarious, by the way, where they were making the deal between Sony and Marvel. And they were like, so the guy's going back and forth. He's like, we're Sony and we own the rights to Spider-Man, but we'll give you the rights to Spider-Man, but we want more money. And Marvel's like, well, and he cut back to the other guy and he's like, well, we're Marvel and we're the MCU and we make all these movies, so we want more money, obviously. And then they just go back and forth. They're like, well, we're Sony and we own Spider-Man, so we should probably get more of the money. And Marvel's like, well, we're gonna make the movie and make all the money, so we should get more of that money that we make. And then finally they agreed to a 50-50 split because, come on guys, 50-50. There's also the Venom Life movie theory. Ooh, yes. Watch my review on the movie Life. I'm actually pretty proud of that review. It was a fun review. Will we get Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds? Because Ryan Reynolds was in Life. Pitch meetings and honest trailers make all of these movies better. They really do. They really do point out all of the simple things they could have fixed too, which is kind of frustrating in retrospect, but also hilarious. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Go easy, go safe, be all that you can be, but join the army if that's what you feel like will help you pay for college. But I don't know. To all our armed services, thanks. All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. No, I thank you for your service. I see you on the other side. Good night and good luck. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle.